We slept a little bit later than intended, but 6:20 a.m. and we are moving. So all of our phones are basically about to die. And so we're going to spend a little bit of time charging them on the Anchor and getting a little bit more shut-eye. And then we'll probably cook some breakfast and go do the Thornton Lakes Trail. It is now 8:20 a.m. We just slept for like another 2 hours just in the front seats of Mila. And now we're getting started on some breakfast. Should be no surprise to you that we are just running the basic, oh my gosh, please focus. Should be no surprise that we are just gonna boil up some water, eat some protein oatmeal, and make some coffee in the Stanley. We have our oatmeal packet set up. Water is boiling. Nothing too much. I don't want to burn you with the pot.
That's good. That's good.
Nice. Alrighty. And then the remaining water we'll use for the coffee. Coffee's almost done. We got our oatmeal up here, and we're about to watch a little bit of Yellowstone. It's just past 9 a.m., so the visitor center's open. We just filled up all of our water bottles. Now we need to fill up our bladders, and then we'll head on over to the trail. So the drive up was like 5 miles of gravel road. Did not realize that it was like straight up bumpy, super gravelly, super steep, windy. I mean, it's been a lot of fun. Mila's sure loving it, and the views are pretty, and it's rugged. It's a good rugged, but this is crazy. This park is just, it's rugged, man. If this trail wasn't enough on its own, it has also started raining, and so hopefully it doesn't rain too much today while we're hiking or while we're driving back. We have arrived at the trailhead. There's a nice little restroom. There's actually like 3 other cars here, and then there's the trailhead itself right down this way. It is starting to rain, like truly rain, but there's supposed to be some good tree coverage for basically the majority of this hike, and so hopefully that's the case for the rain as well. So yeah, should be a 10-mile hike, over 3,000 feet of climbing, and I'm pretty confident that it's just 5 miles out all the way up and 5 miles back all the way down. We're actually not going to get to go all the way down to the lake because there's apparently some snow and ice on that portion, and everybody who's done it recently just highly recommends you don't do it without like snowshoes or something. And so we'll get there and figure it out, but for now we're just planning on getting to like the picturesque view and then turning around. Currently packing up all of our stuff for this hike. We're going to bring a ton of food just in case. We each have about 2.5 to 3 liters of water in our bladders. Then we're going to throw on these little backpack rain covers as well. Window shades are up, so it's nice and dark in here. Nobody can see what we have, especially no bears. Trekking poles ready. Bear spray on the hip, like the dad that I am. And she's all bundled up and ready to go. It is 10:30 on the money, and we are beginning the hike. Maxie's got her
waterproof shoes.
She's got her waterproof boots on. And I've actually got my boots tied low because I've been having some ankle pain from it. So we're a little beat up. Us little Texans don't know what we're doing up here in the mountains constantly, but we're making it, and this trail should be really good. I'm really hoping that the cloud coverage kind of clears up by the time we get to the view, or else this is going to be a little bit of a letdown. Check out this massive slug that we just ran into. Very unique. Just hike past some of these super cute wildflowers. Most of them are upside down, but that's what they look like right side up. So far, the trail has been good. It is quite rugged and tight in places, and there's a bunch of like brush and stuff. So it's nice that it's cooler and raining because we have a good excuse to wear some layers and not be walking through all the brush with shorts and a t-shirt. Oh, we're still in the easy section though, so at some point it's going to become quite moderate, and there's going to be a lot of climbing and a small amount of miles. So we're looking forward to that. All right, we get to cross this piece. It'll be exciting. You can't tell, literally every rock is unstable. It's very different from like creek crossings and stuff that I've done before. So we're just taking our time and trying to be safe. We both made it across. That was definitely technical, and our boots were soaked. So it's only a matter of time before our feet are soaked, especially with the continued rain and the assumption that there might be another one of those, or at least on the way back we got to go through that. But we're really just 1/9 of the way into this hike, so this might be a little bit uncomfortable. We're walking up on this piece thinking, oh my gosh, no way we have to cross another one. Thankfully there's a little bridge. This bridge is an absolute game changer.
So we've gone 1.76 miles. We're going at a rate of 2.2 miles per hour. We are booking it. Well, I've been gone for just over 45 minutes. But this is us, and this is the climbing that we have left to do. So
all the climbing's left, but it is time to eat some snacks, and then we'll keep going. In like the past 5 minutes, it has gotten so dang foggy. This might be this might be such an underwhelming lookout, but the trail's still good. We still know where we're headed, and just trekking along. If you were curious, we have found the really steep section. Some parts are a little bit normal, but other parts are like straight up roots and rocks and stuff, kind of like yesterday's hike. This has been like super straight up, and it's not actively raining right now. It's still wet, but not actively raining, so we're gonna take the rain jackets off and shed some layers. This trail has been straight up, like big boy steps steeper than Bali stairs, and no good flat stair to stand on. But this rugged terrain is really, really pretty. I mean, I really feel like we're just hiking through the middle of nowhere in a good way. So as we keep climbing, there's lots of mud, there's lots of trees in the way, big rocks, and mosquitoes everywhere. If you haven't heard me say it before, man, it's rugged. We are pretty much at 3.5 miles in, a little over 1,500 feet of climbing. So over the next like mile to mile and a half, we'll probably have another 1,500 feet of climbing. It's straight up, some big old steps out here. Like, for example, look at this. Even between me and Macy is a big gap, and there's no steps. This is like the flat stuff. As you work your way up, I mean, that is the trail, just climbing and climbing. And this is like the easy stuff. Certainly way more intense at times, and trekking poles are coming in clutch again. So they've been a great purchase. Macy's taking a little snack break, and then we will just keep on climbing. Also, it has just progressively gotten more and more foggy out here, so we are not super hopeful of a good view at the end. All of a sudden, this place has just opened up, and there's actually stuff to see. There's also some snow right over here, which is kind of wild. It's very beautiful. We've officially hit the national park boundary. I don't know if that means that we're entering like a recreational park or something instead or what, but we're out here, man. We still doing it. Hoping for a good view. We are getting mighty close. We were just about to stop for some food, but I think we're going to go ahead and try to make it to the top, because right at that point is where we will stop for the hike, and at some point we'll get enough of a view and turn back around. We have hit some more consistent snow now, but that means that the ground is super muddy, so trying to avoid as much of that as we can. This is very unique, but when we were hiking up to El Cap, I heard like a very distinct drum, like a doom, 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 kind of like Native American type sounding. And we never found the source of it, but we're starting to hear it out here now in the North Cascades. So we're not sure if it's an animal or if, you know, people just come up here and are vibing and playing some music or what, but it's unique. It's cool. It's starting to rain pretty hard again, so we're throwing the rain jackets back on. Almost to the top.
I knew it wasn't, but like,
we just heard either like the craziest thunder ever. I mean, it was like, you know, kind of like a firework finale, or it was just like a huge avalanche. But whatever it was, that was crazy. Be interested to look into that later and try to figure out what it was. Well, this is what it looks like, guys. We're getting hammered up here by rain. Clouds everywhere. We've hiked to what is allegedly the really good peak view. And this is what we see. This looks like the trail down to the lake, which we're not going to do. But I mean, you can't see more than 50 yards, 100 yards. The fog is so bad, and it's pouring rain. This can't be good for my phone, but we did it, baby. Crazy views. North Cascades is crazy, bro. Also, we ran into a couple girls like maybe a mile ago that said that they couldn't even see the lake. So we're wondering if it's like frozen over or just covered in snow or what. But they said they looked everywhere for the lake, couldn't find it. So we're really just missing mountain views. That's okay, I guess. Whatever. So it's pouring rain still. We're obviously not going to get a whole lot of footage on the way down, but just know that we're slipping and sliding and freezing, and there's some really brisk wind, and it's still raining hard, and there's lots of thunder and lightning. So pretty sketch, but should be down hopefully in the next hour or so. So Macy was coming down this really steep section and just slid onto her butt. She is covered, man. Could be worse.
we're fine.
She's fine, we think. So just gotta keep on going. We have made some progress, but let me tell you, this has been a sketchy hike back. We have, like I said earlier, just been slipping and sliding, and our knees hurt. Everything basically hurts. But as of very recently, we started running because it sounded like several trees were about to fall down. And, you know, it's noticeable that around here that trees have been like hit by lightning and stuff in the past. And there's trees leaning on other trees, and all that to say, when they start screeching real loud, it is sus. You know, we don't want to be in that danger zone, and so we had to do some sprinting, but we're making it, we're moving, we'll be down soon. You have no idea how comforting it is to see this parking lot right now. Oh my gosh, it's been storming. Oh yeah, you already know. We're soaking wet, our bodies hurt. Oh man, I can't wait to just change and warm up.
After all that, the duct tape made it. I mean, it's like barely hanging on,
Hey,
but
it's stuck, baby.
it waterproofed and it stayed on, so we made it. The time.
It feels good to be back in Mila. We had originally planned on like changing and warming up and hanging out, but I think we just want to get out of here. So we're going to send it down this somewhat sketchy drive. Hopefully it's not too insanely wet and the brakes work. So here we go. So it is 5:30 p.m. We were able to make it to the visitor center before it closed, and we put on fresh clothes, which has been really nice. Everything was soaked and we were cold, so it feels good to change clothes and shoes. We're now headed over, is it Knob Creek? What is it? Thunder Knob.
Thunder Knob, yeah.
We're now headed over near the Thunder Knob trailhead, which is like just 20 minutes from here going east. But there's a couple campgrounds over there. They're probably all booked, but we're hoping that there's maybe a spot that we can kind of tuck into, like a corner of a parking lot again to sleep at for the night. But we're going to go over there and check it out. There's a trail there that we want to do in the morning, and then there's another trail, probably another 30 minutes to an hour going east out of the park on the way out that we'd like to do. So we have two decent trails that should have some good water and mountain views, assuming that the weather's not terrible. But I will say there's rain in the forecast for tomorrow as well. So worst case is we do what we did today and just hike for funsies. Also, we forgot to include that the hike was almost 10 miles and almost 2,500 feet of climbing, and the climbing was like straight up, you know, for maybe like the first 3.5 miles on the way out. It was just flat, pretty much steady, flat, nice, you know, you could just haul. But going up was steep and crazy. So it was some steep climbing. There were hardly even any switchbacks. So
Just really straight up.
yeah, that's a testament that it was very straight up. But
It's about 5 hours.
yeah, overall it took us 5 hours to do the hike. And like I said earlier, we were soaked and cold. We have arrived at Colonial Creek Campground. We're in the parking lot of the South Campground. And this is kind of what we're working with view-wise. Out this way, we have some pretty mountains. And back over this way, you can't really see it because of the trees, but there's actually a snow-capped one back there. There's just this huge parking lot. There's a ranger station way back there behind that van. So we're really hoping that there aren't any like active rangers moving around, but we're about to get started on dinner. Macy's got it all set up already. We're gonna make some cheese quesadillas and some ramen noodles, which sounds incredible after a cold, wet day like today. Gonna go ahead and get started. Get this water boiling. Nice. Get this pan heated up a little. Nice. Spread this olive oil around some. So now that this pan's heated up, we're gonna toss the tortilla on. We put some Miracle Whip on the other side to kind of help it crisp up some. And then we're gonna put the cheeses on top of that. All the cheeses are on. This one's probably crisped up a little because it took us a minute, but oh yeah. We're just gonna get this tortilla up and flip it over. Fold it over, I should say. Come on, tortilla. This tortilla's seen better days, but you get the gist. It's going to be a crisped up quesadilla nonetheless. With the Monterey Jack, Colby Jack, Tillamook cheese combo in there again. Flipper. Oh yeah, that's a thick, crispy one. All right, the second tortilla is going on. And we'll get the cheeses on there. Colby Jack first. Some of this Monterey Jack next. Kind of stacking it all up on half of it. And, oh, water's done. Nice. Macy, you want to get the ramen?
Yeah.
Fold over one of these halves. Alright, now I got a solid quesadilla shape going. We'll just heat it up and crisp it up. And now that the hot water is boiled, we're going to go ahead and pour it into our cup of ramen. Cup number 2. Probably sounds like it wants to flip. Whoa, that's burnt. Alright, we're going to go ahead and cut the heat on this. Dinner's just about ready. We have to let these cups of ramen sit for 3 minutes, but the quesadillas are good to go. All right, dinner is served. Noodles should be done soon. We're gonna watch some Yellowstone while we eat. It's now about 7:45 p.m. and we've got some time to blow. There's people like constantly walking around, and so we do not feel confident like we did at the visitor center to throw up the tent well before the sun goes down. And the sun doesn't go down till like 10 p.m. So we've got, gosh, like 2 hours. Now, it is super cloudy. It is raining again. And so maybe that'll help it get dark quicker. But, yeah, even then, we've got at least another hour to blow. Probably just keep watching Yellowstone because there's no data. And hope that people actually go to their campsites and quit walking around.
We are in like a common area. There's a dishwashing station kind of nearby us and a big bathroom. So I think that's why there's so much activity over here. Big dumpsters as well. So it's like if anyone's walking from their campsite, they're walking to this area. So.
But at some point, that's got to quit.
Yeah, once people are done with dinner and are cleaned up, they'll get in their tents, hopefully.
And then hopefully nobody cares enough to like write our license plate down and report us, which that'd be so extra. But we're really just hoping there's not a Karen in the mix. So we just watched TV for another hour, and it's still just so bright outside. I know it's hard to tell with all these raindrops on the windshield, but like, it has not changed at all, and it's almost 9 o'clock. So we might just give up and throw the tent up and hope we don't get caught. So one of the signs by the restroom says that basically if it's a green campsite, it's first come first serve. So we're actually going to drive around first, see if we can't find one. And if not, we'll come back to this parking spot in this huge parking lot and just drove around for a minute. Probably barely see it, but there's a green sign in this mirror, and so that means that this campsite's open. So we found a little campsite to call home for the night.
Feels a little better than the parking lot.
Yeah. Yeah, plus there's some good like tree coverage, so hopefully it's not like just rain dripping all over us like it was out in the open parking lot. Put that pole up.
Yep.
Whoa. Don't forget your vent as well.
Yeah.
Put these little vents up. Ladders up, Macy's climbing in, tents up. It's just about time to call it a night. Alrighty guys, it's 9 p.m. It's obviously pouring rain and should be dark within the next hour. We're going to get up in the tent and close ourselves off from, everything. and we're going to go ahead and call it a night. So tomorrow we're going to get up, do a couple of hikes, and probably hit the road, making tomorrow our last day in the North Cascades before we make our long trek back to Texas. But we will see you guys in the morning. Good night.